Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the nightlife of Fayetteville, North Carolina. We're talking about the bars, the people, the vibes, the whole shebang. Whether you're looking to hang out with friends, blow off some steam, or find those hidden local gems, we've got you covered. We're about to take you on a wild ride through the top 10 bars in Fayetteville, so buckle up and get ready to party. Alright guys, first up we're rolling into the Mash House, and let me tell you, this place is a craft beer lover's dream. I'm talking about walls lined with taps, pouring every kind of beer you could imagine. IPAs, stouts, sours, you name it, they got it. And the atmosphere? Super chill, super laid back. You can tell this is the kind of place where people come to relax, have a good conversation, and maybe discover their new favorite brew. They've also got these giant Jenga sets, which is always a recipe for a good time. Trust me, nothing says fun night out like almost toppling a tower of wooden blocks after a couple of beers. Speaking of beers, I went with their IPA of the day, which was super hoppy and delicious, just the way I like it. But seriously, the selection here is massive, so take your time, browse the menu, and don't be afraid to ask the bartenders for recommendations. They're super knowledgeable, and always down to help you find the perfect beer. Oh, and did I mention the food? They've got some killer bar snacks and appetizers. We're talking loaded fries, nachos, wings, the works. Perfect for sharing with your crew or just indulging in a solo feast. No judgment here. Next stop, we're heading to Patty's Irish Pub. And let me tell you, this place is a whole vibe. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted with the sounds of laughter, lively conversation, and maybe even some traditional Irish music. They've got these dark wooden interiors, cozy booths, and a bar that seems to stretch on forever. It's the kind of place where you instantly feel like a regular, even if it's your first time there. And speaking of regulars, you'll find a good mix of locals and military folks here, all just looking to have a good time. Of course, no trip to an Irish pub would be complete without a Guinness, right? So, naturally, I had to grab a pint, and let me tell you, it was poured to perfection. Creamy, smooth, and oh so satisfying. They've also got a great selection of Irish whiskeys if you're feeling fancy. But the real star of the show at Patty's is the atmosphere. It's just one of those places where you can't help but have a good time. Whether you're catching up with friends, enjoying some live music, or just soaking up the lively ambiance, Patty's is guaranteed to leave you with a smile on your face. Alright guys, get this, we're about to step into a piece of Fayetteville history. This is Husky Hardware House, a bar that's been around since, get this, 1905. It used to be a hardware store, can you believe it? Now it's a legendary bar, and you can totally feel that old school cool vibe the moment you walk in. They've kept some of the original hardware features like the exposed brick walls and the old wooden floors, which gives it this super cool rustic feel. And the best part? They brew their own beer. Yep, you heard that right. They've got their own in-house brewery, so you know you're getting some seriously fresh and unique brews here. I tried their flagship IPA and it was seriously good. Super hoppy, a little bit fruity, and dangerously drinkable. But they've also got a rotating selection of seasonal beers, so there's always something new to try. And if you're feeling hungry, they've got a full menu with everything from burgers and sandwiches to more upscale dishes. It's the perfect spot to grab dinner and drinks with friends, or even a romantic night out. Okay, next up is a spot that's a little different, a little unexpected, but a whole lot of fun. We're talking about the Church Entertainment Lounge. And yes, you read that right, it's literally in a former church. But don't worry, there's no preaching here, just good vibes, great drinks, and an awesome crowd. They've kept some of the original church features like the stained glass windows and the high ceilings, which gives it this super cool, almost ethereal vibe. And the music is always on point. They've got DJs spinning everything from hip-hop to EDM, so you know you're in for a good time. I started off with one of their signature cocktails, a delicious mix of vodka, elderflower liqueur, and grapefruit juice. It was sweet, tart, and totally refreshing. They've also got a great selection of craft beers and wines if cocktails aren't your thing. And if you're feeling peckish, they've got a small but mighty food menu with some seriously tasty bites. Think gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, loaded fries, and even some surprisingly delicious vegan options. Alright guys, we're heading back to Husky, but this time we're checking out their other awesome spot, the Tap House. Now this place is all about beer, and lots of it. We're talking over 50 beers on tap, from local favorites to international classics. They've got this massive, beautiful bar that takes center stage, and it's the perfect spot to belly up, grab a stool, and get your beer tasting on. The atmosphere is super relaxed and welcoming, with a mix of locals, military folks, and beer enthusiasts, all just hanging out and enjoying the good vibes. And the bartenders are super knowledgeable and passionate about beer, so don't be afraid to ask for recommendations or even a taste before you commit to a full pint. I decided to go with a flight because, let's be real, with so many amazing beers to choose from, how could I resist? I got to sample 4 different beers, from a crisp and refreshing Pilsner to a rich and chocolatey stout. And let me tell you, each one was better than the last. Okay folks, we're about to step into a Fayetteville institution, the Doghouse Bar and Grill. This place has been a local favorite for years, and for good reason. It's one of those classic neighborhood bars where everyone does seem to know your name. The atmosphere is super laid back and friendly, with a mix of regulars and newcomers all just mingling and having a good time. They've got pool tables, dartboards, and even a jukebox blasting all the classics. It's the kind of place where you can come to unwind after a long day, catch the game with friends, or just enjoy some good old-fashioned bar fun. Now let's talk about the food, because trust me, it's worth the hype. They're known for their killer burgers, and I had to see what all the fuss was about. I went with the classic Doghouse burger, a juicy beef patty piled high with all the fixings, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It was cooked to perfection, super flavorful and messy in all the right ways. Get ready to crank it up to 11, guys, because we're heading to the Rock Shop Music Hall, Fayetteville's premier spot for live music. This place is a haven for music lovers, with a packed calendar of local and touring bands playing everything from rock and punk to blues and metal. The energy here is electric, especially during a show. The crowd is always super into it, singing along, dancing, and just letting loose. They've got a spacious stage area, a killer sound system, and a bar that's fully stocked to keep the good times rolling all night long. I grabbed myself a beer and found a spot near the stage ready to rock out. And let me tell you, the band that night did not disappoint. They were tight, they were energetic, and they had the whole crowd moving. It was one of those shows where you just get lost in the music and forget about everything else for a while. Calling all gearheads and motorcycle enthusiasts, our next stop is Mac's Speed Shop, a bar that's all about celebrating the love of all things fast and loud. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted by the roar of engines, the gleam of chrome, and the smell of leather and motor oil. They've got motorcycles on display, vintage gas pumps, and walls adorned with license plates and other cool memorabilia. The atmosphere is super fun and casual, with a mix of bikers, locals, and anyone who appreciates a good time. They've got a huge outdoor patio area, which is perfect for soaking up the sun during the day or enjoying a bonfire on those chilly nights. And let's talk about the beer selection, because trust me, it's impressive. They've got a rotating selection of craft beers on tap, with a focus on local and regional breweries. I went with a hoppy IPA from a local brewery that I'd never tried before, and it was seriously good. Alright guys, we're about to let you in on a little Fayetteville secret, the Sandpiper. This hidden gem is tucked away in a quiet corner of town, but trust me, it's worth seeking out. It's one of those bars that feels like stepping back in time, with its cozy booths, dim lighting, and classic cocktails. The atmosphere is super relaxed and intimate, perfect for a quiet drink with friends or a romantic night out. And the bartenders are some of the friendliest you'll ever meet, always happy to chat, make recommendations, or just let you enjoy the peaceful ambiance. I decided to go with a classic old-fashioned, and it was made to perfection. Strong, smooth, and perfectly balanced. They've also got a great selection of whiskeys, wines, and beers if cocktails aren't your thing. Last but not least, we're wrapping things up at the Drunk Horse Pub, a Fayetteville institution that's been a favorite among soldiers and locals alike for years. This place is known for its lively atmosphere, strong drinks, and late-night shenanigans. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted with the sounds of laughter, loud music, and maybe even a few cheers. They've got a huge bar area, plenty of seating, and even a dance floor that gets pretty wild as the night goes on. Now let's talk about the drinks, because trust me, they don't mess around at the Drunk Horse. They're known for their strong pours and their killer drink specials, so you know you're in for a good time. I decided to go with their signature drink, the Drunk Horse Punch, and let me tell you, it packed a punch. It was a delicious mix of rum, fruit juices, and a little bit of mystery, and it definitely got the party started. And there you have it, folks, the top 10 bars in Fayetteville, North Carolina. From craft beer havens to historic hotspots, live music venues to biker bars, Fayetteville's nightlife scene has something for everyone. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. Let us know in the comments which bar you're heading to first. Until next time, cheers.